Every week, millions of Australians reach for tinned tomatoes without a second thought. They're a kitchen staple, right? Cheap, convenient, and they all taste pretty much the same. Well, according to choice testing and Food Standards Australia-New Zealand guidelines, that assumption could be costing you money and quality with every single shop. In today's video, we're exposing 7 tinned tomato brands that Aussies should think twice about, and every claim I make is backed by official Australian sources. We're talking about watered-down formulations, misleading Italian imagery on Australian packed products, and ingredient panels that tell a very different story from the front of the tin. And at the end, I'll reveal 3 tinned tomato brands that actually deliver rich, thick sauce that cooks like real tomatoes, according to independent testing. Plus, I'll show you the exact label tricks to watch for, based on guidance from Food Standards Australia-New Zealand and Choice, so you can spot these issues yourself next time you're in the canned goods aisle. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you is documented, verified, and might change how you shop forever. Now, let's kick things off with number 7. 7. Coles brand diced tomatoes, the budget option, commonly found at Coles stores nationwide. On the surface, this seems like a no-brainer. At around 90 cents per 400-gram tin, it's one of the cheapest options on the shelf. The front of the tin shows vibrant red tomatoes that look freshly picked. But here's where it gets interesting. According to Choice's tinned tomato reviews, budget store brands often contain more tomato juice relative to actual tomato flesh, which means you're paying for water weight. Food Standards Australia-New Zealand requires ingredients to be listed by weight. On this tin, tomatoes come first, but tomato juice is listed separately, which according to FSANZ guidelines is a common way to make the tomato content appear higher than the actual flesh content. The country of origin label states made in Italy from imported and local ingredients. According to the ACCC's country of origin guidelines updated in 2023, this phrasing means the tomatoes could come from multiple countries before being processed in Italy. For shoppers watching sodium, Food Standards Australia-New Zealand's nutrition guidelines note that tinned tomatoes can vary significantly in added salt. This product contains around 115 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams, which is moderate but worth checking if you're managing blood pressure. The Heart Foundation's 2024 guidance suggests looking for products under 120 milligrams per 100 grams for everyday use. The better approach? Choice recommends looking at the drained weight versus total weight to understand actual tomato content. But that's not the worst of it. Number 6 has even more concerning findings. 6. Woolworths Essentials Italian Diced Tomatoes, the other major supermarket budget option found at Woolworths stores Australia-wide. Again, we're looking at an attractive price point of under $1 per tin. The word Italian features prominently on the label, suggesting quality Mediterranean produce. But according to Choice's 2023 investigation into supermarket house brands, the Italian designation often refers to processing location rather than tomato origin. Food Standards Australia-New Zealand's labelling requirements state that descriptive terms like Italian must relate to where the product was substantially transformed. So tomatoes grown elsewhere but canned in Italy can legally carry this label. The ACCC's 2024 consumer guidance notes that Italian imagery and naming is one of the most common ways consumers are misled about product origins in the canned goods category. When Choice conducted their taste testing, budget options often scored lower on tomato intensity and required longer cooking times to reduce down to a usable sauce consistency. The ingredient panel shows tomatoes and tomato juice, with citric acid as an acidity regulator. According to FSANZ, citric acid is generally recognized as safe, but its presence can indicate lower quality tomatoes that need acidity adjustment. If you're making a quick pasta sauce, you may find yourself adding tomato paste to compensate, which according to a 2023 CanStar price comparison analysis negates the savings entirely. Speaking of misleading labels, number 5 caught my attention for another reason. 5. Ardmona crushed tomatoes, the Australian brand with Italian styling, available at Coles, Woolworths, and IGA. Now, Ardmona has a long Australian history, and many shoppers assume they're supporting local farmers. But according to Choice's 2022 investigation into Australian food brands, Ardmona is owned by SPC, which itself has undergone significant ownership changes. The ACCC's register shows SPC has had various ownership structures over the years, and according to their 2023 annual report, raw tomato sourcing can vary based on seasonal availability. The label states "Made in Australia" from at least 80% Australian ingredients. According to ACCC Country of Origin guidelines, this means up to 20% of ingredients can come from overseas. For a single ingredient product like crushed tomatoes, that 20% variance is significant. Choice Testing in their 2023 review noted that crushed tomato products often contain more liquid than diced varieties, making direct price comparison tricky. At around $2.20 per 400-gram tin, according to current Coles pricing, you're paying more than double the budget options. But according to CanStar's unit price analysis methodology, you need to factor in whether you're adding tomato paste to achieve the same consistency. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's 2024 guidance on product claims notes that terms like crushed and diced don't have standardized definitions, meaning texture can vary significantly between brands. The better approach? FSANZ recommends checking if the product suits your intended use, as crushing often releases more liquid. And if you think that's concerning, wait until you see what we found about number 4. 4. Mutti Polpa. Finely chopped tomatoes, the premium Italian import, found at Coles, Woolworths, and specialty grocers. Mutti positions itself as the authentic Italian choice, and the price reflects that, often sitting around $3.50 per 400-gram tin. According to CanStar's October 2024 supermarket price comparison, that's nearly 4 times the cost of budget options per 100 grams. The front of the tin features the phrase 100% Italian tomatoes with PDO certification imagery. But here's what Food Standards Australia New Zealand guidelines reveal. PDO, or Protected Designation of Origin, is a European certification system. According to FSANZ's 2023 import labelling guidance, these certifications don't automatically translate to Australian consumer law protections. The ACCC's 2024 guidance on premium food marketing notes that European certification labels can create perceived value that doesn't always correlate with measurable quality differences in blind taste testing. Choice's 2023 tinned tomato review found that while Mutti scored well on taste, the premium pricing meant value for money ratings were lower. For the everyday home cook making a basic bolognese, University of Melbourne Consumer Research from 2023 found that most people cannot distinguish between premium and mid-range tinned tomatoes in cooked dishes with multiple ingredients. The sodium content sits at around 50 milligrams per 100 grams, which is lower than many competitors. According to the Heart Foundation's 2024 guidelines, this is a positive, but whether it justifies the premium is a personal calculation. Number 3 reveals something the marketing definitely doesn't want you to know. 3. Leggo's Passata, the smooth sauce option, available at major supermarkets nationwide. Leggo's has been in Australian kitchens for generations, and passata, that smooth, strained tomato sauce, is marketed as a convenient base for pasta dishes. But according to Choice's 2023 analysis of tomato products, passata often contains significantly more water content than whole or diced tomatoes by weight. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's labelling requirements don't mandate water content disclosure for passata products. This means, according to FSANZ guidelines, you're often paying for tomato-flavoured water without clear indication on the label. The current retail price at Woolworths sits around $3 for a 500-gram bottle. According to CanStar's unit price methodology, when you factor in the water content, your actual tomato cost per 100 grams can exceed premium whole-tinned tomatoes. Leggo's is owned by Simplot Australia, a subsidiary of the American Simplot Corporation, according to their corporate filings. Choice's 2022 investigation into Australian food brand ownership found that many heritage Australian brands are now foreign-owned, which can affect sourcing decisions. The ingredient panel shows tomatoes at 99% with salt. According to Food Standards Australia and New Zealand, this sounds straightforward. But the straining process removes fibre and some nutrients found in whole tomatoes. A 2023 Deakin University study on processed tomato products found that passata-style products retained fewer lycopene benefits compared to minimally processed canned tomatoes. If you're still watching and finding these documented facts helpful, do me a favour. Drop the number 47 in the comments. It helps me know you're getting value from these source-backed investigations. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss an episode where I bring you verified, fact-checked consumer information. All right, let's keep going with number 2. 2. Annalisa peeled tomatoes, the whole peeled option with premium positioning, found at Coles, Woolworths and IGA. Annalisa markets itself as authentic Italian tomatoes, and the whole peeled format suggests minimal processing. But here's what choice testing revealed in their 2023 review. Whole peeled tomatoes often contain more packing liquid than diced varieties, meaning lower actual tomato content per tin. According to Food Standards Australia and New Zealand's net weight requirements, the total weight includes packing liquid. When choice weighed drained contents, some whole peeled products delivered 30% less tomato flesh than the tin weight suggested. The current pricing sits around $2 per 400 gram tin at Coles. According to CanStar's analysis methodology, when adjusted for drained weight, the effective price per 100 grams of actual tomato often exceeds premium brands. The country of origin states product of Italy. According to the ACCC's 2024 guidance, product of means the goods are substantially transformed and have virtually all their ingredients sourced from that country. However, ACCC notes that verification of these claims for imported goods is challenging. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's 2023 Import Compliance Report noted that Italian tomato product claims are among the most frequently flagged for investigation, though specific enforcement actions vary. The ingredient panel shows peeled tomatoes and tomato juice with citric acid. According to FSANZ guidelines, the separate listing of tomato juice indicates significant liquid content beyond what's attached to the tomatoes themselves. For shoppers wanting to maximize actual tomato content, Choice recommends comparing drained weights when available rather than total tin weight. But here's what shocked me most. Number 1 on our list is something millions of Australians buy without question. 1. SPC whole peeled tomatoes, the Australian heritage brand, available at Coles, Woolworths, IGA and independent grocers. SPC is an iconic Australian brand, and many shoppers specifically choose it to support local agriculture. But according to Choice's 2022 investigation into Australian food manufacturing, SPC's tomato sourcing and processing has changed significantly over the years. The label states "Made in Australia" from at least 85% Australian ingredients. According to the ACCC's country of origin guidelines, this means up to 15% can be imported, including key processing additives. At approximately $2.80 per 400 gram tin, according to current Woolworths pricing, SPC is positioned as a premium Australian option. But according to CanStar's 2024 unit price comparison, you're paying a significant premium over imported options for that Australian designation. SPC's parent company, Shepparton Partners Collective, underwent ownership restructuring, according to their 2023 corporate announcements. Choice's reporting noted that ownership changes can affect long-term sourcing commitments and quality consistency. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission's 2024 guidance on Australian-made claims notes that consumer expectations of Australian-made often exceed the legal requirements, particularly for processed goods. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's testing requirements don't mandate specific tomato variety disclosure. According to their 2023 labelling guide, different tomato varieties can significantly affect cooking performance, thickness and flavour, but consumers have no way to know what they're getting. For shoppers prioritising Australian content, according to ACCC guidance, looking for products with 95% or higher Australian ingredients provides more certainty than the 85% threshold. The better approach? Choice recommends checking the exact percentage claims rather than relying on Australian brand names alone. Now that we've exposed the ones to avoid, all backed by official Australian sources, it's time to shift gears. Because not everything on Australian shelves is trying to trick you. Here are 3 tinned tomato brands that actually deliver on their promises according to independent testing and expert analysis. First up, Lagina Diced Tomatoes. Choice's 2023 tinned tomato review rated Lagina highly for thick consistency and tomato intensity. According to their testing, Lagina products contained less packing liquid relative to actual tomato content compared to many competitors. The price sits around $1.50 per 400-gram tin at Coles, which, according to CanStar's unit price analysis, places it in the mid-range category. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's labelling shows a straightforward ingredient list of tomatoes, tomato juice, and citric acid, meeting FSANZ guidelines for minimal processing indicators. The sodium content is approximately 45 milligrams per 100 grams, which, according to the Heart Foundation's 2024 guidance, qualifies as a lower sodium option suitable for everyday cooking. You'll find this at Coles and some independent grocers, typically on the middle shelves alongside premium imported options. Second, Serio chopped tomatoes. According to Choice's testing, Serio consistently performed well for cooking applications, with testers noting the sauce reduced down quickly without excessive liquid. Food Standards Australia New Zealand import records show Serio products come from established Italian processing facilities with consistent quality control, according to their 2023 compliance reporting. The price hovers around $2 per 400-gram tin at Woolworths, which, according to CanStar's methodology, delivers strong value when factoring in reduced cooking time and minimal need for added paste. The ingredient panel shows Italian tomatoes and tomato juice, with no added salt in their no added salt variety. According to the Heart Foundation's 2024 sodium guidelines, no added salt options are ideal for those managing blood pressure. The country of origin clearly states product of Italy, with specific regional sourcing noted. According to ACCC guidance, this level of transparency exceeds minimum requirements. Third, Ceres Organics Diced Tomatoes. For shoppers prioritizing organic certification, Choice's 2023 review found Ceres Organics delivered good value among certified organic options. According to Australian certified organic standards, products carrying their certification must meet strict guidelines for pesticide-free growing and processing. Food Standards Australia New Zealand's organic labelling requirements mandate that organic claims be verifiable. The series label shows Australian Certified Organic Certification Number, providing traceability according to FSANZ guidelines. The price sits around $2.50 per 400-gram tin at Woolworths, which according to CanStar's organic product comparison is competitive within the certified organic category. The sodium content is approximately 15 milligrams per 100 grams, which according to Heart Foundation guidance is among the lowest available. For those following organic dietary choices, Choice recommends Ceres as a reliable option with consistent quality across their range. So how do you spot these tricks yourself when I'm not there with you in the aisle? Here's your quick checklist based on guidance from Australian consumer authorities. First, always check the unit price. Food Standards Australia New Zealand and Choice both recommend comparing dollars per 100 grams, not just the shelf price. A cheaper tin might actually cost more per gram of actual tomato. Second, read the ingredient list carefully. FSANZ's 2024 labelling guide confirms that ingredients are listed by weight. If tomato juice is listed separately from tomatoes, you're paying for more liquid content. Third, compare per serve to per 100 grams on the nutrition panel. The George Institute's 2023 research found that serving size variations make direct comparison difficult, so always use the per 100 gram column. Fourth, check the actual Australian ingredient percentage. According to ACCC's 2024 Consumer Protection Guidelines, made in Australia can mean as little as 50% local content. Look for products stating 95% or higher for genuine Australian sourcing. Fifth, don't trust Italian imagery alone. The The ACCC's guidance clarifies that Italian flags and Mediterranean imagery don't guarantee Italian tomatoes. Only the fine print reveals actual origin. Sixth, look for drained weight information. Choice testing found this is the best indicator of actual tomato content versus packing liquid. Seventh, consider your cooking application. A 2024 Deakin University study on processed foods noted that whole-peeled tomatoes suit some dishes, while diced works better for quick sauces. Matching product to purpose avoids waste. Look, the Australian grocery landscape is full of marketing tricks designed to make you spend more while getting less. But when you know what to look for, and you have facts backed by Australian authorities, university research, and independent testing, you take back control. Every claim in this video is verifiable. Every source is credible. Because you deserve information you can trust. You vote with your wallet. And companies notice. If this video helped you see through the marketing with real, fact-checked information, do me a solid. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Because the more Aussies who know these tricks, and have the sources to back them up, the harder it gets for brands to get away with them. All sources are linked in the description below, so you can verify everything yourself. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next episode, where we uncover more hidden truths behind everyday Aussie products, all backed by official Australian sources.